So the storm is still going on, and because it's a new day and a new episode for you, I started from this spot, even though it's only been about 10 seconds from when I ended the last episode. And forgot to go... Oh! I saw lightning. Oh, God. I mean... This episode is about 9/11, actually. Shout out to Cocoa Beans. He's popping around a lot lately, and I love him. But yeah, he's come by recently, and he's been dropping comments all the time. And he said to talk about how Bush knew 9/11. And how I'm going to interpret that is that I will talk about 9/11 and kind of what happened, what I think happened, what others think happened, what I think about what others think, and stuff like that. So it's a very controversial thing, which is where your clue comes in. 'Cause controversies... one of the major mantras of anybody who's talking a controversy is coincidence. I think not. I believe that's what I said last time. Because if it's if you're trying to say somebody planned something, then if they did something, like if they find some sort of weird connection a couple times, and then it's like, is it really a coincidence or did somebody really plan it? So that's something you. That was really. Oh God, yes. Oh, that was really close by. I mean, 9/11. So 9/11, of course. I'm talking about September 11th, 2001. As to where the media and most of America would put it as two planes crashing into the two Twin Towers and bringing them down. Of course, it was an intentional terrorist attack. It was put at least as a terrorist attack. And you know, some terrorists, they hopped on a plane and they hijacked it and they took it to where they wanted, and where they wanted was right into the side of a building, and then a second one. And then a third one, I think, and then one of them crashed in, like, a plane. I think all of them crashed, but there were, like, four. The story that I was told is that there were 4 planes, and 2 of them went into the 2 Twin Towers. One of them went into the Pentagon, and the other one was, like, they tried to take it over, and then a couple people fought back, and then it just crashed in the plane somewhere. But, this thunderstorm is just going to distract the hell out of me. But other people see it other different ways, at least. Myself included, actually, believe it or not. Some people will claim that the President Bush actually planned the whole thing out. Completely just decided it was necessary or whatever. And there are some points to this. I haven't actually done my research on the Bush did it explanation. But it's more or less, you know, he didn't have much to say after it happened, and the outcomes of it were way in his favor for things he wanted to do. And there's some truths behind it, at least. There's obviously no proof out there that Bush really did 9/11. There are some weird evidences, but he never actually admitted to it. I don't know why he would. To the best of my knowledge, at least, he didn't admit to it. But what I think happened, and a few others, actually don't even think it was a plane. I don't think it was a plane. It I mean, it's extremely, extremely unlikely that it was a plane, that either of them were planes. They were most likely missiles, actually. And there's a lot of evidence for that as well from a lot of just like personal accounts of people like saying that they thought it was a missile, and there was a just some guy on TV or whatever actually made a slip up and said missile instead of plane, and then corrected himself, and then somebody who said missile instead of plane and then didn't correct himself, and somebody who almost said missile and then corrected himself and said plane. And then of course there's just like weird sort of just like camera things where it's because what most likely happened is a missile went for the went for the Twin Towers, and these companies, these broadcasting stations, I should say, changed the footage right then and there. They had the technology to do it. All they had to do was to put a plane over the missile and make it look like a plane. And the more like footage you try to find, and the more you get into it, every now and then the plane will look different. And there are weird clips where the plane like survives way longer than it should. And just the whole scientific basis of, jet fuel can't melt steel beams. That was a really popular kind of thing. I actually have a picture that's that's like a chick from a manga, like screaming out with the kind of like a I don't know, just like a strained kind of face. It's like she's trying to yell at somebody, like, yeah, baka. But it's like screaming, jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Because it's like, that's something that I've believed since I was like 6, was that it was not at all a plane, because it just doesn't make sense. And it's supposed to be like, oh, it wasn't just the fuel, but it was all the papers and things burning. But it's still not going to get hot enough. Without an actual explosion, it's just like, I don't know, maybe there's weird circumstances behind it, but there's a lot of things that point out where it just like doesn't make sense. And I like what happened. I think from my standpoint and from my view, it's actually really smart how it was taken. At least if what I think happened, it was really smart. So whether or not Bush knew it would happen, whether or not it was planned, more lightning. What they did was take what would have been an unsolvable crisis of terrorists have missiles, and take it into a problem that can be fixed of increase airport security. And that's what happened. And it calmed Americans, which is kind of the one of the smartest things to do. Is in a crisis situation, you just want to keep everybody calm before anybody does anything really stupid. So when it's a plane, you say, holy shit, it was a plane. And of course it's extremely tragic and people lost their lives, and I'm not trying to belittle that, because it's a thing that happened. People did die. But the whole thing with the planes, it's like, I don't know, maybe somebody can prove to me that there were actual planes Like, if you know anyone who was on that plane that got taken over and died, like there are planes that existed on record and had people, and like there were people that knew that they were on the plane. Because I have never heard a story of a person who knew a person who died on the plane. I just have never heard that. It's supposed to be a passenger airplane, so obviously there's going to be passengers on it, right? Where are the friends of passengers that have now lost lives that they want to, because like there's always, there's stories of people who knew people that died in the towers, and they all want to be they're sad, and they send out, their regrets to everybody else who knows anybody, and to all the families and the lost ones and stuff like that. But I've never heard any stories of anyone who was on the plane. Maybe it's just a coincidence or something, or it's just happenstance, or just haven't heard that kind of thing. But and also the Pentagon, I've never seen a picture of the plane flying into the Pentagon. Where did that come from? Shouldn't there be security cameras and things that are recording things? I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to show it because they don't like showing footage of the Pentagon too much. I don't know. But it's, I don't know. There's just a lot of weirdness around it, and a lot of ways you can put things, and maybe it was really a plane. And even still, it's very sad. But the way it was handled worked well, because they put a lot more security into 9/11. I believe because of that event, Bush was able to pass some sort of gun regulation bill. I think. No, it wasn't gun regulation. It was surveillance. What was it? The Patriot Act? I think the Patriot Act passed because of the hysteria spawned off of 9/11, and a lot of people point Bush to causing 9/11 because they think that he wanted the Patriot Act to happen. So that's just like fuel for the fire. Not jet fuel, though. But it's like weirdly serious. I don't think Cocoa Beans expected this to be serious, but 9/11 is a topic that I will talk about at any time with anyone if they want to try to tell me, what they thought of like what happened and anything like that. I mean, yeah, it's one of my like favorite things to talk about, especially controversial things. 9/11, religion, and myself, I guess. I feel like there was a third one, but I can't remember it. But definitely, 9/11 and religion are just things that I can talk about, that I just love to talk about. But the 9/11, at least, it's more of a conversation between two people, and right now it's not as much. I'm trying to show like other sides, but I don't know much about other sides because I haven't done much research. But it is still an interesting thing to talk about, to try to prove or disprove anyone's connection or anything like that. And there's a lot of evidence for all sides, and some of it's forged and some of it's not, and some of it's probably just circumstantial or coincidental or things like that. But I do not fully believe that Bush planned 9/11. I am a little bit more thinking that he knew about it because of how prepared everyone was. But I'm not certain that he planned it. And I am almost absolutely certain that it was not a plane. Either it was not a plane, or like there were bombs already there, and bombs already there would definitely point toward them toward it being a planned event. But there are a lot of incidences where it just seems like but that just mostly point toward it being a missile and not a plane. So that's definitely something that I will always argue with people, is it was a missile, not a plane. And obviously I wasn't there. I was like 3. I don't remember where I was when 9/11 happened. That's a really interesting psychological thing that people have noticed is I don't remember what it's called exactly. I don't usually remember the names of things or the people who thought of them, but I remember the concepts. So my memory of psychology it's vast, but not. But still, it's a thing that's like whenever something like really big happens, you're gonna remember where you were, what you were doing, and what happened, like, during that event. It's something like a flashbang memory or something like that. And it's like really, really old people will remember where they were when Kennedy got assassinated, because that was a really huge event. And so it's just like everything around that is just immediately ingrained in your memory. And it's like some people are like some people think that that if anything like terrible happens to them, they probably won't even remember what happened, because it's just like some people are really doubtful of their own memory. And like when people watch like these I've just known a couple people who are like this, at least, but when you watch like a criminal show or whatever, and they're like some people actually think that it's not believable when a victim describes like a mugger's face, but it's a real thing that happens. Like when you get mugged or something tragic happens, or just like a really big, like, especially tragic, definitely something like that happens, you're gonna remember everything. There's just like nothing around it. So you're just gonna remember that. If you get mugged, you're gonna remember the dude's face, unless it's, like really well. But you're gonna remember everything you can about the guy. If you didn't see his face, then you're gonna remember his general appearance and probably a good estimate of his height and things like that. It's like it's there. It's ingrained in your memory because of that event. And some people, it's just like, I don't know. It's hard to say that that's a thing that happens without having experienced it myself, but it is a psychological thing. That's why people will always know where they were when 9/11 happened, and a lot of older people will always know where they were when Kennedy got assassinated, unless they have dementia. A lot of still lucid older people. I believe lucid is the word, aware of things. Like lucid dreaming, you're aware of your dreaming. But yeah, that connected to 9/11 at least. I had a lot less things to say about 9/11. As I said, 9/11 is more of a conversation to be had than someone just saying a bunch of things for 20 minutes. But that's what I'm really glad I was looking outside the window just then. Oh man. Just a long fucking sideways one. Really big right across. Oh god, that was fantastic. Oh man. And that stretched across like 75% of my window, what I saw. This giant fucking lightning streak. Like, oh man, almost sideways. Almost completely sideways. That was fucking amazing. Like, it wasn't even a powerful one to like have like a really strong thunderstorm, but because it was long like that, it looked fantastic. And I just I was way into that. Oh man. It's still going strong. The lightning is, at least. The rain and the wind have calmed down, but there's still a little bit of lightning. Still a little bit of lightning peeking in. Oh god, yes. I am so into this. I will never live this down. People will always think of me as somebody with a lightning fetish, which is Honestly, completely true. Just thinking like right now, yeah. Lightning is fantastic and beautiful. Oh man, I want to be a weatherman now. No, I don't think so. It's just fun to watch. That could be a fucking job though, now that I think about it. It's like, I mean, I haven't had much experience with anything, but that's definitely an interest. Right? Oh, more lightning. So it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't know exactly how to get into that. I'd probably need some type of schooling. But, like, that could be something pretty cool to get into. Meteorology? Meteorologist. Oh, no, the word meteorological, I think is probably the word. Meteorological. Yeah. Because it's meteorologist, meteorology, meteorological. I think it's meteorological. I don't know why. I think it's just a really dumb word. Oh man, more lightning, yes. Give me all the fucking lightning. Oh, today is a good day. Goodness gracious. How was your Tuesday? I hope it was good. I haven't had it yet. This episode is the one that will go up on Tuesday, though. So. Yeah, 9/11. Just to recap, media says it was planes. I say it was missiles. Others say it was Bush. Yeah. Maybe it was Bush. I don't know. I don't know Bush. I don't have much interest in politics and things like that, but I don't know if there's much else to say. Hey, Divine Poseidon, good job for you. I got that one right. Yeah, I got Divine Poseidon. I didn't get the other bitch, but she's not a bitch. She's alchemist and she's very pretty. But I should really get that glass of water that I talked about. Oh God! That was a lot of lightning. That was good. That was, oh God, yes. That was a lot of lightning. Just like 4 or 5 hits. Like, all the way across the fucking horizon. Oh yes, there's more. Oh God. And I thought it was over. Whew, it's like the finale at a fireworks show. Okay. Let's end the episode so I go get a glass of water. Oh, there's more. Okay. Take care of yourself. I love you and I love lightning. Oh man.